Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with a very special guest, the one and only Gemma.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? How we doing?
Very good. I really
Good.
appreciate your bracelet you gave me.
Of course, yeah. I have so much swag in my bag. Anytime. Anytime you need it, I've got it. I've also got snacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without snacks.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with almonds, so I really am into almonds.
That's what those are.
Oh, you have almonds?
Oh, no, they're espresso beans. Just kidding.
Oh, those are
Just
the
kidding.
best.
Yeah. They're chocolate-covered espresso beans, which are so hard to find for whatever reason, but I have them.
Those are dangerous. You can
They're
just eat
really
them
good.
all
They're
in
really
one sitting.
good. Yeah. Yeah. And they're caffeine. So,
There we go.
yeah.
But it's awesome how I met you. I've been
Yeah.
raving to everyone, rappers, people outside of Seattle, whoever, about the pop scene in Seattle,
Oh.
because I feel like it's a very underappreciated community. And
yeah.
even from watching, first of all, for people who don't know, Gemma is you're a music video director, videographer, video editor, everything to do with video
And photo as well.
and photo.
Yeah.
And even when I was checking out your music videos, I noticed that a lot of the artists were at the pop retreat,
Mhm.
right? So it seems like the pop community is very small. So whether it's intentional or not, it seems like they all have to connect and collab
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel, though?
It's so fun. It's so fun because all of them have, like, everyone I work with has really just become, like, my best friends. You know, like, that is my favorite part of it. And I think it's also my favorite part of being a young creative in Seattle because most people on the production end in Seattle are, like, a bit older, like 30 or 40 typically.
Yes.
And so everyone, like, you know, people that I work with, like Anna and Nick, they usually work with older people. But then working with me, it's nice because it's like, oh, we can work and then we, like, hang out after because we're the same age.
Yeah.
So it's super fun. And it just feels like we're bringing up a new community of people in Seattle because everyone's, like, the same age. It's so much fun. What was your question?
No, that's awesome. I'm really trying to figure out, like, the pop scene here in Seattle
Yeah.
and whether, because you guys are so hardworking, whether you realize how isolated you guys are from the other communities or if you're fine with that.
I'm personally fine with it because I'm getting work. So
Yeah.
it's okay. And I'm getting to work with all of my best friends who are amazing and talented. And pop music is probably my favorite genre and my favorite genre to create for.
Mhm.
So it's just the easiest, most natural thing that comes to me. So as far as the vision, so yeah, I love working with pop artists. And I feel like, I don't know, I think, I'm trying to think about the communities now. I'm like, I don't know.
I gotta think like that.
Yeah. I dip my toes into other communities, but it definitely all comes back to pop just because that's what my friends make. Like, that's really the bottom line is, like, my friends make the music or I meet people and then they become my friends through the music.
Yeah.
But a lot of my best friends who I started making content with were pop artists. So I think that's kind of how I got into the pop scene in the first place, was just because I had friends that did pop, started working with them, then made more friends through that.
Got
So
it.
I think that's kind of how I got into it. I don't even know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how'd you get started with video then and photography?
So long story. I don't know. I was always making videos when I was like 9 years old, like editing on Windows Movie Maker, like shooting on like a VHS camera, like a CD camcorder, but figuring out how to get it on my computer, editing Windows Movie Maker, making weird skits or things like that ever since I was a kid. And I talked to one of my childhood friends about this a lot. I don't know where we got the inspiration for this because, like, YouTubers were not a thing yet. It was before that, but we were just making videos. Like, I have a video of me doing a performance in my kitchen when I'm like 6 years old, and I'm doing like either like Fergalicious or like something by Fergie, and I'm like wearing a Hannah Montana wig in my kitchen at 4. Edited it after. So I don't know. It's been a really long time that I've been doing video. And then that kind of moved into YouTube when YouTubers started to become a thing in like 2010.
Oh, so
And
you've been
then
on YouTube for a while.
I've been on YouTube for a while, yeah. And then kind of abandoned that, but I revisit it like once a year because it's fun. I just don't really have the time as much now.
Mhm.
And I feel like as soon as I have like cool things to vlog about, I don't have the time to vlog them, which is so sad because I I like every 6 months I think, oh, I should like start vlogging again because this is really interesting and I really want to like have a video diary of what's going on in my life. And then it's just like really busy and it's very difficult to do that when I'm also doing so many productions. But
Right.
I don't know.
So when you release videos, is it not under your YouTube? Is it more under the artist's YouTube page? Or?
It's typically under the artist, yeah. Sometimes I'll put it out on my channel too, just to have, but usually it's just on the artist channel, which is the really nice thing about being on the production end with artists is that I don't have to worry about promotion at all, because I just like I give them the video and then it's done and like they take it and they do whatever they need to do to release it, but like then I don't have to think about it after I finish editing.
Wow.
So yeah.
So how did you learn editing? Did you just messing around and learn how to slice things, or?
Yeah, slicing. No, I think, started on Windows Movie Maker when I was 10, and then eventually iMovie, and then now I use Premiere, which is the industry standard. Love her.
Let's talk about Premiere for a second. I
What
feel like
about
I hate that you have to have a monthly subscription or an
it's
annual.
so annoying. Yeah, no, it's so annoying. But I mean, I go to art school, and so we need to have a Adobe subscription for school. So I just like have to have it anyway because I have to have all the other things.
Do you get like a student discount at least?
Yes, and with Adobe, most people don't know this, but my friend Eli told me this. You can scam them into giving you a cheaper deal at any time with Adobe. So if you threaten to cancel your subscription, they will always be like, wait, but it could be cheaper. And then you get a cheaper deal.
Do you have to email Adobe or?
No, you just go to like cancel your subscription online and then it'll say, wait, what if it was cheaper? Like genuinely. Yeah. So you could always do that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why, but they really want their customers to hold on, so they'll always give you a deal.
Wow.
So I don't even know how much I'm paying, but it's not that much.
So did you do like video in high school at all, or?
A little bit, yeah. I was just like vlogging and things like that, and just like random videos all the time in high school. And then after high school, I started shooting a lot of live music, photography-wise.
Like at concerts, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So after I graduated high school, I stayed around in my hometown to finish my associate's degree. And during that time, I started shooting a lot of concerts because concerts are like... live music was kind of my first love, and I thought that I wanted to be like on stage, and then I had a crisis and was like, actually I think I want to be behind the scenes and give performing up.
Wait, what's this crisis? Were you a singer at one point?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was the lead singer in a band when I was 18.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
how and it didn't end well? Are you friends with the band members still, or what happened?
I don't know. It didn't end like really poorly. Like it wasn't like a breakup. We just like stopped playing.
Oh wow.
But that was a fun era. We were called She Told Me To.
Okay.
It was cute. It was just a pop band. It was very fun. Yeah, band, live music. Always have loved live music. Started shooting concerts, and then Corona happened, and then I still wanted to work in music, but obviously there were no shows anymore. So then I was like, okay, well, I have to pivot to do something else or I'll get really bored and sad. So I pivoted to doing music videos.
Okay.
Just from that, because I wanted to still work with musicians. And at the time, my boyfriend at the time was a musician. So he was like the only person I was seeing.
Okay.
And so then I started making music videos for his music.
Oh, wow.
Because it was just him and I, and we could do that. Like it was actually safe to do so. So that's how I like started building up my portfolio with video. And then as soon as things have started to become safer, now I'm able to have like more than just myself on the crew, because for a while it was like just me. But yeah, and then here I am now, and it's my full-time gig, which is very cool.
Wow. So how old are you?
21.
Okay, there we go. So the COVID really happened right when you basically got started into everything.
Yeah, it definitely changed how things went, because if it weren't for COVID, I was supposed to go on tour right before COVID.
For like with a band, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to go as their photographer on tour. And then COVID happened like that week. And so no tour. And then, but I am trying to get on a tour in October.
Wow.
That I might happen.
So how do tours work for like video? Is it? I'm really confused on the terminology. Is it videographer? Is it filmographer?
Videographer is good.
Okay.
Cinematographer if you're fancy,
Ooh.
or just like photographer, or like media. I don't know if you want to be general about it.
So do
You could say like media for tour or press for tour.
Okay, so press for tour.
Yeah.
Or media.
Yeah.
Or all these things.
Yeah.
Do the bands pay you to join, or what do you get out of going on tour with a band or a rapper or whoever?
Yeah,
Pop
it
artist?
depends. It definitely depends. And I still haven't been on tour because of COVID that happened when I was supposed to go. Yeah. But from people that I know, I don't know. It depends. It's such a weird thing, and touring is something that nobody talks about in the like photography scene. Like no one says like this is how you get to go on tour with a band. Like nobody talks about it, and that's just kind of how the photography scene is in general, especially in Seattle. It's very like exclusive, which is so annoying. And so that's why like I'm really outspoken about whatever I do. Like if people are like, hey, what do you like? Do you have advice on this and that? I'm like, yeah. Whatever you want to know, because like no one was telling me that, you know, no one was helping me when I was first starting, so I like really want to be super outspoken about that. But with touring, it's just like super secret and dumb. But I know a friend who went on tour with Avril Lavigne.
Ooh.
With her opening band, and he just like finessed a photo pass to Capitol Hill Block Party, met the opening band, vibed with them, and they were like, hey, do you want to come on tour with us tomorrow? And he was like, yeah. So they went on tour with Avril Lavigne, and then after that moved in with the band in LA, and he still lives there. And I just saw him not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Wow.
But yeah, and just like that's just kind of how it goes. It's very natural. And it's just like if you have a connection with the artist and if you're friends with the artist, they'd way more likely hire you. I know that was paid work for him, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a weird thing.
I've been telling everyone, well, not everyone. I've been really, since the pop retreat, I've been going through this, like, it's not even a crisis. It's a enlightenment.
Good.
There we go. Because I've been doing the podcast. It's almost 2 years now. On August 18th, so
Amazing.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
So I always like to like reevaluate and figure out what's next. And I've been realizing like every community, and I don't know if it's outside, but I can only focus on if I want to build up my community in Seattle, I have to focus on Seattle. Of course, I have artists outside Seattle, but like every community in Seattle is very cliquey for some reason.
It totally is. It totally is.
So I feel like Seattle and just media in general should like unionize or something.
Oh, for sure.
Like
sure. Yeah. It's so cliquey and exclusive. But I think you and I have the benefit of being, since we are on the more production end and get to work with a lot of different artists, like we can work with anybody.
It's so funny.
So like go us.
Yeah.
Because we can kind of break that, you know? But other like artists and musicians can't necessarily because they're kind of in their genre or whatever. But like you and I can because we have to work with lots of people.
That is
of
so
different
funny.
Genres.
Yeah, you're the first person I can really connect with on that. You know, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I'll be working with I've mostly been in the hip hop scene. I'm trying to change now, so I can be working with all my rapper friends, and then I'm working with their favorite artists.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just talking to them and they're like, what would I would kill just to smoke a joint with one of those guys or something like that. It's I think Seattle has the opportunity when media, I think, is the main thing that changes communities, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think our roles in Seattle are really important. So I agree with you.
Yeah, it's so true. We can work with anybody that we want to, you know? Like there really is no limit on that.
Yeah.
And I never limit myself of like who I want to work with. Like it's always really surreal when I don't know, whenever I connect with an artist who I used to really love and then like connect with them personally and now I'm like, okay, like now we're friends. And it's like so weird. And I don't think that moment is ever gonna go away. Like I think I'm always gonna feel like that when that happens. And I love that. Like I love it, you know, it's just very surreal. It just reminds me that I'm like going forward into a place that I want to be.
Yes.
So yeah, trying to go on tour.
That's
trying to go on tour in the fall.
You got it.
Maybe.
I think you do.
I put an inquiry out, so we'll see what happens.
I think you're an opportunist and hardworking.
Oh yeah.
So I believe in you.
Yeah.
But that's funny that you say the friend thing because I think when I interview someone, I want to be like friends with them, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like when artists are collaborating with other artists, they're thinking of it, unless there's some bond that's built in the studio, most of the time they just want it to be like a business transaction.
You think so?
That's what I've been realizing
Yeah.
a lot.
Is that how it is, like, specifically podcasting or with
For
like...
hip hop, it's
Yeah.
for hip hop artists, it seems like a lot of it becomes just transactional versus
Interesting.
for podcasting, what I'm able to do is like connect one hip hop artist to another hip hop artist, which
Yeah.
is cool. But that is interesting. Like there will always be like opportunities for media, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there's not always opportunities for artists unless they
Yeah.
have something. I feel like artists need something more to show versus
Yeah.
a podcast or a videographer.
Yeah. No, we'll always have jobs, dude. Like, we'll always have something. Because, like, you will always have something to report on. You'll always have someone new to talk to.
Yeah.
And, like, I will always have someone new to work with. Like, and there's not that many of us.
Yeah.
So, compared to, like, how many musicians there are, like, us, like, people are looking for us. So,
Yeah.
like, we got jobs coming.
There we go.
Yeah, we're good.
So you said you're from Olympia originally?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was it like in Olympia when it came to like media, music? Is there anything like that out in Olympia?
No, I mean, I was just like during that era when I was living in Olympia and started doing photography professionally and started doing concerts, I was like, I was finishing my associate's degree, and I was always emailing like managers of shows in my lab, like at school. I'd be like,
Wow.
hey, can I come to the show tomorrow night to come shoot? Just like, I don't know. I also don't know where I got that from or like learned how to do that, but like had like a 99% success rate.
I agree with
So
that. Yeah,
you just
same
have to,
here.
You just have to ask. That's my biggest thing in life is like, you just have to ask people, because so many people don't put themselves out there and ask, and then you never know what could have come of it. Like,
Yeah.
that's why the other day when a friend of mine is going on tour with Bad Sons,
Okay.
and I was like, can I come? And he was like, I don't know, I'll talk to my tour manager. And I was like, okay, cool. I asked, now I feel so much better because I'm like, maybe it'll happen now. I'm hoping it'll happen.
Maybe just in media in general, we have to ask because we're
we do,
inquisitive.
yeah. Oh, we do. No, we have to put ourselves out there, because then like there are a lot of jobs out there for us, is the thing in media. So like we have to put ourselves out there because most of the time people say yes.
Mhm.
But with Olympia and that situation, I was driving up here, like
Up here to Seattle.
like twice a week for a while.
And how long's that drive?
It's an hour.
There we
So yeah, so I would, like, I had a routine going because a bunch of my friends went to UW. So I would always come up here twice a week, go to a show, either like at the Showbox or Numos or any of those kind of like mid-level venues.
Wow.
Shoot the show and then go back to my friend's house and edit like all the pictures from that night, send them out to management, then drive home like
Wow.
twice a week for like 6 months. So that's how I racked up all of my concert experience, and then COVID.
Wow.
And then now, like, still working with artists, but differently. And
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was doing.
really,
I grew up in East Seattle,
Mhm.
and I recently moved up. Oh my God, it's not even recently anymore. It's like 2 years.
yeah,
It just feels weird because of COVID.
yeah.
But once I graduated high school, I moved up to Snohomish, and I would drive down to Seattle a couple times a week to go to like concerts
yeah.
to interview the artists.
Oh,
so
cute.
That's interesting that you did the same
Yeah.
thing from just the south
Yeah.
versus the north.
Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, it was a hustle. It was a
Yes,
hustle,
I
but like a
agree.
routine. And it was so, like, every single time I went, I remember always like having my little pre-show routine. I'd be like, okay, I'm getting a Red Bull and I'm gonna, park in this spot that I always park, and like go talk to the security who I know now. Like, it's just
Wow.
like very, I don't know, the routine in it was so nice, and I'm excited for that again.
Yes, I miss my routine. I
Yeah.
talk to everyone about it. I'm like, oh, fuck, I had such a good routine going
Yeah.
on. So as a videographer before turning 21, what was it like going to shows? Like, would people sometimes not allow you to go because some venues are 21 and up?
It was, I think I only had drama like one time. And I think that was at the Crocodile, because
Mm.
they like have restricted like areas as far as like under 21. Because otherwise, most shows that I went to were not 21 plus, which was good. So I didn't have a problem with it very often. But I think one time,
Mm.
I don't even remember what show it was for. But yeah, that was drama.
Who would you shoot for usually? Like, what were there? Bands, pop artists, rappers, EDM artists?
Mostly pop and bands. I've shot, I It's been so long. I shot Conan Gray. That was really, really fun.
I don't know him. But
You don't know Conan Gray?
I
He's
don't.
super cool.
Okay.
He's very young. I shot Starfucker. They were really fun.
Starfucker. I've never heard of
Yeah,
that.
Starfucker. They're like from
crazy.
the Pacific Northwest.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to check them out.
They're really good. I shot Ex Ambassadors. That was
I
fun.
know them.
I don't know.
Do
It's been so long.
photographers like compare like who they've shot for to other photographers?
I don't know. I don't have any photographer friends. I have one. Like, I have my one friend Peter in LA, who I was talking about before.
Oh,
like,
God.
he's the only photographer friend I really have, which is fine. Cause like, I don't know. It's always nice because, you know, I'm always the friend that like takes the photos of everybody, like when we go out, like,
Right.
because I know how. And so it's nice to have, like, whenever I hang out with him, like, he'll take photos of me. And
There
I'm
we
like,
go.
okay, cool. Yeah.
So when you first started shooting concerts, were you making money right off the bat, or was it for free? At
No
first?
no money. But I mean, I was getting like in on the guest list, so like they'd comp my ticket, so it
Okay.
would just be free. So I wasn't losing much money except for like $20 on parking twice a week
Oh,
and
God.
gas to drive to Seattle. But so
Yeah.
worth it. Like, I would do that again in a heartbeat, because
Yeah.
with live music and like the possibilities of shows are really, really high, because like you could meet an artist, you can meet the artist that you work with, and then connect with them, and then maybe go on tour with them in October. So yeah.
So now that COVID's hopefully dying down, this Delta variant. We'll figure out what happens with that.
Yeah.
But-
My friend just got that.
Oh shit!
Yeah. It was drama.
Oh, are they okay?
They're fine, yeah.
That's
No,
wild.
I was going to see them in LA. And then they got COVID as I was on my way.
Oh,
So then I had
no.
to pivot and go somewhere else.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah. So she's out there.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll be okay. Hopefully.
Yeah, no,
We
they'll be
don't-
fine. Yeah.
So now that COVID's simmering down,
Yeah.
let's say simmering. I think
Yeah.
simmering's a nice word for this. Are you going back to the same routine when it comes to just sending the same type of emails, or now that you have had a year of experience of COVID and just growing who you are as a media personality? Is that fair to say?
Sure. I'll take it.
As a media personality in Seattle, have you changed how you approach these bands or whoever's touring to Seattle?
I mean, I think I'll probably go back to doing what I was doing before. I just have a better portfolio now. So, I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. I think definitely trying to like aim for bigger things as far as shows go, like not just like shooting a show, but like going to shoot a festival, or like, because I'm going to shoot a festival in September
Ooh, where at?
in Ohio. So random.
What is it? Hive? No.
No.
Is it like
It's like a random festival, but Zed is headlining
Okay.
with Saint Motel, so I'm very excited about that.
ooh,
Going to shoot that, and then so things like that is kind of what I'm looking to do, is like grow a little bit bigger beyond what I was doing before, and then hopefully tour with Bad Sons.
So how do things change now as you continue to grow and you start shooting these festivals? Do you send your pictures to those festivals afterwards, or like how do you start making money off those pictures?
So it depends on the event. Like for the one in Ohio, your payment is just like going to the festival, which is so stupid because like I'm literally flying there, but also just like down for an adventure, so I don't really mind. But yeah, after we just send everything, you have to just like bring a hard drive and like give them the hard drive at the end of it.
And how do you know if they've chosen your picture? Because that's the thing, isn't there? Like when I was doing podcasting and going to these concerts, sometimes there'd be 3 other podcasters there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing there's other videographers, photographers
Yeah.
at those.
Well, for something like the one that I'm shooting in September, there's only 2 of us. Like I'm the second shooter, so it won't be as complicated with like figuring out whose photos are whose, because we'll just send them separately.
So have you seen your photos go on people's Instagrams? And
Yeah, that one was always so cool. It's always so much fun. I shot a show for Grace and Chance like a year and a half ago. Do you know who that is?
No,
Pop artist.
I need to really tap into
You
this
do.
pop scene.
Yeah, you do. I shot a show for Grayson, and they end up using one of my photos as his ad for a while.
Ooh.
For like, oh, Grayson Chance on tour. And so I would see it all the time, which was bizarre.
Wow.
It was so weird. And then I got to meet him, and he was very sweet. Very nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
So are you tapped in, or at least know the bigger pop artists that have become successful in Seattle, or how does that work? Because I know there's like, of course, there's bands in Seattle, and then there's bands that have made it. There's hip hop artists, and then there's hip hop artists that have made it. There's pop artists and there's pop artists that have made it.
I think the thing that I'm most tapped into is like my community and like my best friends, because I'm really, really entertained with the idea of like all of us coming up together.
Mhm.
I think that that's really fun, you know, and like really cool and very unique. So I'm not necessarily looking to, not that I'm not looking to work with other people, but I love working with people consistently. So I love like building a relationship with the people that I work with, like Anna and Nick and Tylea and, you know, those kind of people. Like I love working with them again and again. So I don't know if I'm necessarily tapped in.
So it's not really important for you right now, at least.
I mean, like growth is always important,
Right.
but I love the idea of growing up with my people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And like bringing them down into anything. So if I go to LA and like meet these connections or whatever, like I want my friends to also be included in that, because I want all of us to come up together.
That's awesome.
Because I think there's such a thing of like people moving to LA and then just being like, peace out,
Yeah.
and then just like disappearing, you know, and like not helping their friends.
Yeah.
And I just do not want to be that kind of energy. I just want all of us to come up together.
So when you first started shooting for your friends, was that all free or?
Yes and no. It depends on the project. Depending on the project, I think I've only the biggest one that I did was free and no one on that set was paid, was for my ex last fall. We did a 5-part music video series,
Oh, wow.
which was so much work, and it was my first project directing. And that one, nobody on the set was paid, and it was 5 members in the cast and 5 members in the crew.
So how do you look for members now? Like, what do you need when you're shooting like a music video or
For casting or
Yeah.
for
casting?
For casting, depends on the project. With like I'm shooting a video this weekend at Supernova,
Ooh.
which I'm very excited about. And that we were just looking for disco queens. So it's like casting depends on the project. It depends on, like with Anna's video, it was like, okay, we just need like all of our young model girlfriends, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wasn't Zanae in that?
Yeah.
I'm about to have her on the podcast.
Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God, Jess is like one of my best friends.
Wow.
I love her so much. We just finished her video.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm really excited about that.
That's dope.
Yeah. And that one, casting, it really varies. Like with that one, I had to cast a love interest in it for her. And I just like had a friend who is an actor and was back from LA for a little bit. And so I was like, hey, you want to be in this video next week? And he was like, yeah. So it just depends who's in my like vicinity.
Do you ever put out ads then? Or how do you
For
go-
casting?
Yeah.
Sometimes just on my Instagram story. But I mean, I'm fortunate enough because of the industry that I work in and the people that I know, like to know a lot of artists. So, and a lot of models and musicians and dancers and things like that, because I am a photographer. So those are like the people that are in my friends of friends or friend groups. So it's not too hard. It hasn't been too hard. I love to cast my sister in everything. I'm always casting her. But yeah, you'll see some familiar faces if you watch like a few of my things.
Yeah.
For sure.
Who's that? I met her at the Pop Retreat, and she's been in a few music videos. She has like the spider web.
Lily?
That's Lily. Okay, I recognized her in some of the videos.
Yeah. Or Tylea.
No,
They
it's-
both have the tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think it was the girl with the
Lily has
blonde.
blonde. Yeah. I love Lily. She's also one of my best friends.
Cool. So are all your friends people you grew up with in Olympia, or was it when you moved out here? Or?
No, my like 3 best friends in the world are Abby, Tylea, and Lily, and they're the people that I create with the most as well. Abby is like my go-to producer, so whenever I'm directing a project, I'll always bring her on as a producer, which she saves my life and holds everything together for me, and it's the best. So yeah, they are from Everett. So I met them through like the house show scene in Seattle in like 2018, 2019.
And house shows like EDM music? Right?
No, like like indie rock ? Sort of.
Really? That's
yeah.
what house music? Or it's
No,
not
house show.
It's different than house
like
music.
not house music. I
Okay.
love house music though, but house show, like just shows in houses
Oh.
in the U District.
Okay, now
House show. Yeah, so I met them at house shows because Tylea's band was playing a lot of house shows at the time. So,
Okay.
and then we all became best friends.
And are artists reaching out to you at all, or is it you really solely working with just people you know deep down? Or
A lot of people reaching out to me.
Okay.
A lot of people reaching out to me, and then which is I feel very fortunate. And then after that, then we become best friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's mostly been pop, right?
Mostly, yeah. I'm doing a rap video next month actually, and then trying trying to think. I mean, that one, were we talking about, you saw Detox, right?
Yeah.
We played at the retreat.
Oh, I saw this. I saw it like.
Oh, you saw the promo?
I saw this afternoon also.
What?
Oh, you sent me the Google Drive. Is that not out?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, I sent you the Google Drive. Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. Yes.
Yeah, and you
It
guys
comes out tomorrow.
You guys were dancing. You had the
Yeah.
white turtleneck on.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow.
That was
That's
a
like
dope
kind of
video.
housey and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit of
yeah.
rap. Yeah, it's something a little different.
Because I think pop fits perfect with house, actual house
Yeah.
music, not
Yeah.
house shows.
Not house shows. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was sticking to your cup or your seat. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So, with like music industry, bands, pop artists, rappers, is it different on like how you make connections with them versus people in the Seattle music scene? Like, do you think people outside of Seattle know your photography more than Seattle artists?
No, I think Seattle artists know me by word of mouth. But like people outside, are you saying like
Is it easier for you to get shows, like go to concerts and shoot versus shoot for local people?
No, definitely local people is easier. But I don't, with like touring bands, I'm always the one to reach out, except for like a few cases. But with like long-term projects or like video stuff, that's when people reach out to me.
And have you ever had music videos where you need multiple camera people?
No, it's just been me, which has been very fun.
So how do you think about competition at all, or do you not really focus on what other Seattle?
Sometimes, but yeah, I don't really like focus on it very much because for me, I don't know. I think the whole thing is like we provide very different things, me and like any other competition, and like there's only a few of us as far as videographers that are like working with kind of like similar artists. But I don't know. I don't think about that, and I think for me, it's like it just depends what you're looking for. And in any kind of production, any kind of person in a production role, to get hired, you just have to be a good fit for the client. Like, it doesn't mean that you're worse or better than anyone else. It's just like you are a good fit for what they're looking for.
Got it.
So, like, I'm fine because I'm still getting work. So, like, I don't think about the competition. I think if I wasn't in, like, as enough of a fortunate place. I don't know how to say that. I feel like I'm in a really good place where I can say that, like, I don't think about competition because I'm like getting enough work to keep me alive.
Because I'm better than all of them.
No. Just different. Like what I was saying earlier about being younger, and like maybe that's something that people are looking for. Like that's where I kind of have an edge.
Mm-hmm.
But also just like stylistically, like what are you looking for stylistically? Because one director could bring it to life better than another one for that specific project. So I never think about it like if I work with someone and then they go work with another director, and then I'm never like, oh, they should have come back to me. I'm like, oh no, they just wanted a different look, you know? Like that's how it works. So
is there a certain aesthetic when it comes to pop music videos just in general?
I think so. I think they're more flashy typically.
Do you think what I've noticed with hip hop or bands, I feel like they usually have more of story-driven music videos.
Yeah, I agree. Pop is more like flashy and sparkly and performance vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And why is that though?
I don't know.
Do you think pop can transfer over? Like, do you think pop and R&B sometimes go hand in hand? Because I feel like The Weeknd is an R&B artist, but like Starboy is like a pop
It's
song.
pop song. Yeah. I think pop music is also kind of like a big umbrella term
Okay.
for like, you know, indie pop, alternative pop, you know, R&B pop. Like I think you can be, and pop just means popular. Like that's what it actually like means, right?
So hip hop can be pop?
I don't know. I'm also I'm not a musician, so I don't know.
You were in a band though, the
I
Girl
was in a
Talk.
band.
What was it called? Not the Girl Talk.
She told me to.
I was close.
Yeah.
I knew
Girl Talk. Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you meet Anna and Nick? Those are the two pop artists I've had on. So, do you know who Rents is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I've had Rents on. He's about to perform at Lollapalooza.
Fun.
So that's pretty. He's from Seattle.
Cool.
But yeah, how'd you meet Anna and Nick?
Anna, I met on Instagram,
Okay.
I think.
Same.
Before we met in person. Yeah, I just like followed her, and then a while later she followed me back because we had mutuals and she saw something they posted, and then like that they tagged me in and then just followed me back. And then I was like, hey, would love to work with you on whatever. And then we just got on a call and we're like, what can we do?
Wow.
And then now like love working with Anna so much. She's like, we're doing a shoot this Sunday that I'm so excited about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Do people ask to see your resume first before they? make music videos with you, or do they just?
Not really, because they typically have just seen like my social media, because that's kind of like my breathing resume. It's like my Instagram, which I kind of hate because there's a lot of pressure on like making my Instagram look decent because it's how I get work, which is kind of annoying.
So you need to you say you don't need to know promotion that much, but you kind of do for like social media.
Yeah, I mean, I also work in advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so? Like, are you part of a company or?
Yeah. So I had a summer internship at DNA Seattle on their production team, but it's an advertising agency.
Okay.
So I did that and then just finished that. And now I'm going into work at a different agency called Color Creative.
Oh, shoot.
Doing an assistant editor role for them.
And that's out of Seattle as well?
Yeah.
Are you able to help these up-and-coming artists learn how to market themselves better? Or?
I don't want to, but well, it's not something that I'm more interested in, like the tech aspect of it as far as marketing, but I do pick up on some things that I use for myself for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's important. I feel like a lot of artists, not just in Seattle, just even in general, don't really understand what marketing is, which
it's so true.
back in the day you kind of didn't need to have marketing because you
Yeah.
had the label or your manager or whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to do things independent, but then they're like,
Yeah.
oh wait, you actually know how to market. You need to know how to market also.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. That's something that I think about a lot of the artists that I know, or like artists that, you know, are having really hard time like getting their music out there, is marketing. Like having a really good strategy is very important, but I'm not a musical artist, so I don't know. But like what I do works for me.
Yeah, that's
a lot of it is also just like face to face and like word of mouth. So
are you always going to be in Seattle though, or are you like worried that?
No, not always in Seattle. No.
So how do you prevent that from happening?
What, like not getting work?
Just staying in Seattle. I feel like a lot of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, I kind of have a plan with that. Like, I don't know. I think people moving to LA, like I was saying earlier, is kind of like an interesting thing of feeling like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm over this city. I'm moving to LA. And I don't have that perspective because like there's a lot of work for me here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work for me here. So I don't want to move to LA until I've done everything I can in Seattle. So that's why I moved up from Olympia, is because there wasn't enough work there. There was more work here. So I moved here and then could survive because I was getting enough work. And then now I'm planning on like going to LA every once in a while and like working a bit there. And then as soon as there's too much work for me there that I'm spending all my time commuting, then I'll move.
Okay.
So that's just kind of my strategy of that. So I'm definitely going to wait a few years and wait until I've really done everything I can in Seattle, because I don't want to be like drowning in the sea of LA at all. It's so hard to make it out there.
Yeah.
And like right here, it's like already working for me. So I just want to grow until I outgrow Seattle.
Is there a certain type of person you're trying to help push? Like as a female videographer, are you trying to help more female artists, or does it not really matter on that aspect to you, or does it?
I like to have a diverse bunch.
Okay.
I definitely like to have a diverse bunch. And that's just representative of who I surround myself with in general, and like who my friends are as well. And yeah, but I also do really value being a good role model, which is kind of something that I struggle with because I don't know. Well, it's hard because it's hard not to put pressure on myself in that way of like, oh, like I want to be a good role model, but like I don't know if this is the right thing, whatever. But then also like I know that I didn't have a good role model doing what I wanted to do when I was a kid.
Right.
So I didn't, or not someone that looked like me that was doing like techie video stuff. Like there was no one like that. So I really want to be that for the next generation of like specifically young Black girls who are growing up and like wanting to do something in production. And because I didn't even really know that was a possibility, you know, like I thought I wanted to be a ballet dancer because Misty Copeland was a ballet dancer and she was a Black woman, you know, so like representation is so important. So that's kind of more so my mission than the people I work with. It's me as an entity of like making sure that I represent myself and my community well, which is a lot of pressure, but also way worth it.
Did you ever feel pressure to like take pictures during the protest that took place in Seattle? Or?
Yeah. But I didn't. I only did once. And I only went to 2 protests just because I'm like, this is not my battle, you know? Like, This is not, like, I've been fighting this battle my whole life. Like, this is not something that I need to be outspoken about because it's very obvious for who I am, you know?
Are you ever interested in like shooting short films or documentaries that don't have to do with music, or?
Yes. I think everything I do will be decently like musically inclined as far as like soundtracking and scoring, because that's super important to me. And that like movies with really good soundtracks, the best movies. Like, doesn't matter what the plot is, if they have really good soundtracks that really pull you emotionally, like, makes the movie way better. So I know that that'll be really important to me when I do start writing. But I am starting to write a screenplay for a short film that I'm going to produce in the fall.
Can I be in it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, I think there might only be like 2 actors.
Oh, I see.
But
can I be like a tree in the background?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. That's based on a lot of personal experiences going into that, and I think I might make that a series, but TBD on that.
That's dope.
Yeah. It's gonna be sad.
Oh no.
That's okay.
It's gonna touch a lot of people then.
Yeah.
Are you very picky about like the equipment you use, and are you always like leveling up on like different types of cameras, or how does that work for you?
I work with a lot of different types of equipment. I'm not super picky. It just depends on what the requirements of the project are. Because, like, if you're shooting something for Vivo, like I just shot a video for Anna for Vivo, it needs to be in 4K. But the camera that I own doesn't shoot 4K. So we just use her mom's, which is amazing. It's so DIY, and I loved it. So I feel like sufficient enough in cameras to kind of pick stuff up if I need to like switch my gear up. But I have my 2 cameras that I use consistently, but definitely looking to upgrade as soon as I can, just because it's fun and I'd like to level up in quality. But yeah.
Well, what are things that you think you need work on or like help on, like when it comes to your production? Like, are there certain like videographers that you want to meet, or certain artists you're trying to meet to level up, or like?
I don't know. I think just more experience. I think just more and more experience. I like the fact that the way that I started was kind of like me doing every aspect of the production.
Yes.
Like I was directing, but I was also producing, and I was also like doing the set, and I was also like helping with costume. I was also like doing everything. And I think that has made me a better director because I actually understand every role.
Yeah.
You know, and like you can't direct people and like delegate things if you don't know what their roles are. Like if you don't know how it's been to be in their role. So that's always been really important to me, is like learning every aspect of production. So
did you ever do like plays in school or anything?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I can tell.
Yes. What do you mean?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
You give off, is it actress vibes,
No.
play vibes, or whatever it is?
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, play vibes. I was the president senior year of theater.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
How is the theater scene in Seattle? I haven't really tapped. See, there's so many things to tap into in
There's
Seattle.
so many things. That's why I'm not about to move. Like,
Yeah.
we're just getting started. We are just getting started. Theater in Seattle, I don't know. I never did it.
Okay. What about like? Do you ever go to like has Hamilton come to Seattle?
I think it has. I think they came to the Paramount, but
Probably not the original cast, or was it?
Well, it was the tour cast.
Okay.
I did audition for one Broadway tour once.
Or have you ever gone to the, what's that thing called? Snowflake Lane in Bellevue?
No.
You know what Snowflake Lane is?
No.
Oh, what?
What is it?
It's like they have like these fake snow that comes down through the skyscrapers and like all these bubbles and stuff at night. It's like a long parade, and there's like people in like gingerbread costumes and all
I
this
think
stuff.
I've heard of
and, like,
that. I'm not a big holiday person.
Oh no.
I know. I just never really have been.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. I just kind of, but the thing, it's because I just enjoy every day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need a special day to be happy.
There
I'm
we
like,
go.
I'm just happy every day. I don't know about, see?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a ring. I'm happy all the time. Yeah.
It's just cool how many different like artistic ways you can be an artist in Seattle.
Yeah. No, there's so many different outlets, and I'm always like wanting to try something new.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary from someone from a Tacoma School of Arts that was on YouTube, and they're like interviewing street performers. And I thought you can just pick up an instrument and start performing on the corner, but you have to have a permit.
Yeah.
And then there's like certain spots in Seattle that have like a music note, and you can only perform on that like music note area.
That's cool.
And then you actually have to sign up, so like you only get like an hour slot. And then they're all around Seattle.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was like a 6-year-old documentary.
Yeah.
I don't think it's changed really.
Probably not, yeah.
So basically, you sign up for one. There's all around Seattle, the different music notes. And it's like a $30 for like a permit or something like that, and it lasts for like a year. So you have to renew it every year. And if you're just gonna solely be a street performer, you can't like, if you're performing at one spot, you can't like book the next spot until you're actually there. so that everyone has a chance to perform and make money.
Oh.
So it's like a whole like economy.
An organization.
In Seattle.
That's so interesting.
Maybe they're unionized.
Honestly, yeah.
See, we need to get unionized here.
We might.
So for artists that want to work with you, how much do you charge if you're able to say that?
Well, it depends on the project. It
Okay.
totally depends on the project. I don't know. Like range wise, I don't know. Just DM me.
Okay,
Just
there we
DM
go.
me.
Do you have a website people can check out?
My website's under construction right now,
Oh.
but she'll be back on that very soon. But my Instagram is definitely the best place to get in contact, or email.
And
whatever.
what's that?
Instagram is at Miss Gemma Eve, and email is crossgem99@gmail.com.
What is some advice that you have for up-and-coming artists, creators,
Oh.
influencers?
Go for it, dude. I think the one thing that has been like the most helpful to me in my career is not being like scared. And not being scared of rejection too, because that's just a big part of this. And I think that's why it was good for me to have a musical background and have a theater background, because that was so much rejection like as a child. And then like going into something like this with production is a little bit easier because there's a little bit less competition than there is like for musicians. But I think you never know until you ask. And I have that experience all the time where like I'll ask someone something kind of random on a whim of like, oh, could I do this, or like, would you want to work on this, or like whatever, and they usually say yes. And like getting into concerts, like I at 18 years old never would have known if I didn't just ask. So I would always rather know, and like would always rather be rejected than not know and wonder what could have happened. So I don't know, I would tell everybody, like, just ask for the opportunity. Just ask, like, because you really never know what could happen. Like, your life could change overnight, and that's how it's felt for me.
Yeah, so, I agree. I feel like we have a lot of similarities, and that's very exciting for me to see.
I love it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, this is the NAST podcast with
Miss Gemma Eve.
And we did it.